Hello and welcome back. I'm Joe, and this is Captain of Industry. I read all your comments, and I've heard enough complaints that I was going way too fast before. So we're gonna slow this down a little bit. I'm gonna try to explain everything that I can. I realize this is maybe the 8th season that I played this game, but not all of you have watched much or any of that. So I'm going to slow down. I'm going to try to explain this a little bit. There will be a tutorial coming out when it's appropriate. At this point, I want to give the game a little bit of time to get things done. But there you go. I listen. I think I listen. I try to listen. Let's go with that. It sounds a lot more sincere because, reasons, people. But no, we're going to slow down a little bit and make sure that everyone understands what I'm trying to do here. So I'm going to stop jumping, and doing all the things. That's the first thing. Well, where were we last time? Yes, we finished conveyor belts. That will be exciting. And location is explored. So let's get into that. Okay, so first things first. Let's look at the stuff that we have going on over here. This is new, so it's just since early access. It wasn't a thing before, but I love it. I love it because it tells you what you do and what your resources are doing if they're going up or down. Red means everything is going down. Gray means it's relatively stable, and green means you're increasing the number of it. Cool. What does that really mean? Everything is going down, and that's a little scary. So what should we do? Several things, I think. This guy's just full of things. So there's a lot of stuff that we can actually do in this situation. I think the first thing I want to do is store a little more of fuel. So let's just do that. Should we just... Yeah, we should. Let's just put it up on this corner. I don't want to have it in the way of something else for things that we do later, so let's just go there. Storage is good, but if you can't produce more than you consume, you're always going to run out. So you have to make sure that you actually keep the things running while you can, even though this is a very inefficient way to produce fuel because of what it produces. It takes, 54 and turns it into 24. That is not a good translation. You can do a lot better later in research, but we're not there yet. So that's the first thing that we're going to build. Second, there's still a low maintenance warning, which I don't agree with because our maintenance is going up overall. So as far as I'm concerned, that warning can go away. We have finished storage. We will use that pretty soon as well. But first, let's run at slow speed and see what location we explored. So this is the map. I'm going to pause again because I don't really want to miss too much. No. Yeah, there's only one research left. I don't want to miss too much. So when you explore an area, I wish I could move this, you get some stuff. Cool. So exploration is encouraged. It's actually required at some point because you will run out of resources on your island eventually. So cool. We also got more people. Now this sometimes is dangerous. Sometimes it's very dangerous. We only have 4 workers available at this point. So right now at this point, it's a really good thing. But sometimes just getting more people is not a good thing. And it also means that every time you want to go out on exploration, you have to make sure that you have enough population cap available. Otherwise, it will just run away. And here's the thing. It's really easy in the early game to get more people. It is really hard in the late game to get more people, even in the mid game. So take care of your people. Very, very important. But copper is good, rubber is good. We are producing both of those ourselves now, which is very, very important. And vehicle parts seems to be a good thing. So, hooray! That's what we say. What did you explore? There's nothing here. Nothing to explore. Nothing's happening. So, cool. I like it. It's fine. So now you can just pick a different location. Now, you can't just go anywhere all the time. In the beginning, everything is really close, but at some point, your fuel tank that you have in your ship will not be sufficient to get somewhere else. So you do have to start exploring all the different locations to get further along. And they may give you things. Things could be an oil rig. Is it an oil rig? Yeah, an oil rig, where you can actually harvest oil from as a raw resource. And you need that to feed all your industries later on. Very important. It could also be another village like this one, where you can trade and do other things with. Very important. Can I donate yet? I don't have construction pieces available. It could also be a ship. There are other ships out here that you can use for harvesting the oil. I do believe there are other types of resources available too. I've never gotten that far because I ran into issues the last time I got really far. But I think sand and other things will be resources that can also use ships for to harvest it. So it's pretty cool. But most of these things are relatively population intense and similar. So keep that in mind. Also, I'm pretty sure the ship as it exists right now has the resources and the population that I just showed you. So they're not home yet. You have to bring the ship home before you can. There you go. Full reserves, cargo on board, this, and there you go. So, prove my point. Great. Yes, conveyor belts. Let's get on that because they're important. Actually, before we go there, I think we should look into our research, what we should do next. So efficient concrete will be important because it is better at using the materials that we have. Very good. Fuel station could be important. Actually, I like fuel station next. Why is a fuel station important? Because right now, I'm going to add this to the queue real quick. Right now, all trucks, all excavators, and this is the one that's even more important, go to the nearest source of fuel. In this case, that is here. You know how far this is? This guy, by the time it gets to its mine, let's let it run for a little bit. By the time you get to your mine, you already burned enough fuel to have to go back a lot further. And you can see it's not burning a ton, but it's definitely burning some, that by the time it gets here and it has to go back, there's a lot of fuel just getting lost for inefficiency. So putting a fuel station somewhere could be helpful. The cool thing with a fuel station is that it's not just for trucks to go there and refuel. It is also, you can assign a truck to the fuel station, and that truck is effectively a fuel truck that refuels other places that are a little more remote. So a fuel truck would actually be really cool. Go to the next one. As I said, I want to slow this down a little bit because we are getting to the mid-stage game here a little bit. This is the early stage, I think, up to construction part 2, and then you upgrade a little bit, and now things are getting more interesting. I think fuel station is the next thing that I want. Vehicle management we don't have to worry about because it just increases the vehicle cap, but I'm trying to keep all my vehicles, or this cap, relatively low, so I'm not worried about that. Groundwater pump will become very, very important very soon. Probably for irrigated farms we actually need it, so we're going to throw that in there. Then get crop rotation in so we can increase our fertilization. This is a new thing, so keep that in mind. And then irrigated farms, probably because our population will keep growing. And then, I don't know, captain's office, settlement water, vehicle management. I will probably say settlement water, that gives us more unity. We will start using that more and more. Captain's office gives you edicts that can encourage or discourage different things in your cities, in your, what do you want to call it? Country? Land? Area? Yeah, in your area. And this can help when you run out of food or other things, so all of this is really good stuff. So now we have some things planned after the efficient concrete, and that's important to me. Wonderful. Cool. Trucks are sitting around. I like seeing that because that means things are going okay. The other things, yeah, let's get some conveyors going. So we have new conveyors. We have a flat conveyor and we have a U-shaped conveyor. Flat conveyor can effectively transport anything that comes out of production chains like these ones. These are the iron pieces that we're producing, very important. And then the U-shaped conveyor can effectively transport anything that is loose material, like iron, like coal, like what's this, slag, and so on and so on. Very important, very good to have. So yeah. Okay, let's upgrade all of this. Why? Because we can. How are we doing right now? We have these guys. We do. Ooh, we can't. No conveyors for me because I need golden construction pieces before we can get to conveyor. What do we have to do to get golden construction pieces? Just build this. How many electronics do we have? I don't know. So to figure that out, you click on the bar over here, find the electronics piece, say I want to pin this, and think about, do I need to see everything else? Iron is somewhat important, rubber is important, wood I probably don't need to see right now. And cement, yeah, we don't have a lot of cement. Diesel is important. Coal, honestly I don't need to see how much coal we have because coal is more dependent on how fast these guys dig or need it than anything else. So Electronic parts, 17 is going down. So if we want golden construction pieces, we need to increase our production for these electronics, and we need rubber and copper for that. Looks like we're not producing enough rubber right now. That is not true. Why do you not have rubber? You have 31, you have 60. Oh, you're just really slow at producing it. Okay, no problem. Let's just build at least one more of these. And then let's do some math. So these are set to 60 seconds. I explained that before, but effectively, if you don't set it to 60 seconds, then they all show you whatever their meant to be display is, that whatever their meant to be numbers are. In this case, it's 40 seconds. But they're different across the board because, for example, this guy, okay, this one's 40. This one is 20, good. There are some that will show you in 30 seconds. None of these are. These are all 20 seconds. You may just have to take my word for it. But you're producing in 20, you're producing in 20, you're producing in 20. So they all have units that are easily divisible, but you will get into places where the production is every 30 seconds or other numbers that are not as evenly spread as the 60s. In this case, 80. Yeah, takes really long. So let's take it to 60. So I know now that every 60 seconds on average, I will get 3 of these, which is not exact math because every 80 seconds, I get 4. So it will take 80 seconds to even get a piece, but then on average, it's every 60 seconds. I hope that makes sense. It's just math. It's not supposed to be terribly complicated, just a little bit. But what I want is this guy. Why is this one not able to produce the golden construction pieces? That is very confusing. Oh, it's up here. Oh. Interesting. Also, we could upgrade these, but we need golden construction parts for that as well. So, let's turn this on. We need rubber and copper. We can produce 60. We need 3 electronics and 6 construction parts every 60, which actually means it's a 1-to-1 translation. That's a little, excuse me, nose is itchy, a little surprising, but we also are producing some vehicle parts and they require another 1.5. So yeah, if we have 2 producing electronics, which these 2 are doing the electronics right now, sorry for clicking a little fast there, we should have enough left over to build some golden construction pieces plus the vehicle parts. That is good. How are we doing on wood? Still taking down that stuff. I would like you to focus on this side right now because this seems to be taken care of quite all right. I have a feeling that we will restructure our industries. Right now, this is all very manual, but should get to a better place pretty soon. And we will use conveyors for that, but we can't build conveyors until we have better production chains. So let's just do this. Let's use the black bar here. I'm leaving some extra space because we want to add some more storage in here. Probably we need to add all the conveyors, and the conveyors have a mind of their own. It's not complicated, but it's a thing. So let's get those done. Better concrete is done. With better concrete done, I should probably focus on that. So turn this one on. We still need all the same thing, we're just adding sand. So that's actually a really good thing. This one we will change. We will change the setup here pretty soon. I just can't right now without the conveyors. We want this guy. Okay. I realized that I put the area like this a little while ago, but the problem with that is I couldn't dig up the sand because the excavator wouldn't know if I wanted to dig up copper or sand. So I'm just going to split those up into their own thing, build another mind control tower here, rotate you, look at the correct location, and life should be good. I will still try to dump stuff right here. That should be good. Are we on copper? Good on copper, very good. I like it. Everything is still going up. Copper is going down a little bit. That's slightly scary, but I think we will be fine for now. We need another excavator, and we probably want to get 2 extra trucks just for now. That should be okay. What they do here? They changed the time. There was an update relatively recently, and it looks like they just did something to this thing. Cool. I'm seeing something that I haven't done. More things. Corn seeds, very important. They help you grow more things, and we got a lot more material. That's good, and more population. I need to bring the ship home because we're currently out of workers. We need more workers, and the ship will take a little bit of time to get us to what we need. You also see up here there are some error messages. Assembly manual has no recipe selected. Yep, got it. I want you to work this, and you to work this as well. All I want you built. And when you are done, I would like you to store that here. I'm just gonna store it in a way that I avoid the tree. This should be fine. And yeah, there we go. This is doing what it's supposed to do. These are all doing what they're supposed to, so that's great. Get rid of the belt. Storage. Do we want some loose storage? You only cost white construction parts. That's actually very, very good. I think what we're gonna do is allow iron to be stored here. Actually, I think over here is a better place. Store iron in there. Iron ore. There you go. And probably coal on the other side, because the coal place is right there. If we put a coal storage in this area for right now, that should be a good start. It's not the best place to put coal storage, potentially. I'm still going to leave it here because if we want to expand it later on, we can. We could put conveyor belts from the actual mine to this location, but we're just not doing that right now. Let's get those guys filled up. Make ourselves feel a little better. We got some wood happening over here. That is good. We should tell this guy what to hold or what to keep. These storages will not know what you want them to keep unless you have a conveyor belt connected to it. More problems. We're homeless. Okay, let's fix that. We need to get one more housing unit. That will cost us a lot of white construction pieces, which we don't even have the amount that we just have the amount that we need. But this is the other problem. Now, we had a pretty good setup for a while, but we didn't overproduce yet. So now we're taking the white construction pieces right here, and they're getting turned into golden construction pieces, which we have now. But that also means everything costs a little more. So there's a trade-off. There's always going to be a trade-off, and you just have to figure out what works and what doesn't work. What I'm going to do now is build. I think I need a storage here. No, I really don't think I need one. I just want a conveyor because we are able to make something happen here. Is there wood in here? There is wood in here. These all want wood. Okay, let's plan this out. I'm gonna do this because I realize that we haven't done this before, but it's not my most favorite thing to do. Conveyors have a life of their own. You want to set up these industry sectors as efficient as you can, otherwise life will be really, really complicated. So get these 3 high because we have 3 inputs, okay? And then make sure that you can connect on this edge, which I can't right now, as you can see. So remove the thing that we don't want anymore. Just like that. Just like that, or someone tried to put something there already. And then try again. You have to make sure that everything is right. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 is here. 1, 2, up. Should be fine. And then try to run just a conveyor belt from A to B. And then, actually, I do think. Sorry, I'm doing this a little bit from memory. I haven't actually tested this in a little while, but I think that's not connecting. So take this down again and all of this down again, and there you go. This is why you have to add extra space everywhere where you want to build something, otherwise it's just not going to work. So last try. I thought this was 3, but they may have changed it, and that is fine. 1, 2. So far I want you away, and I need a little bit of flat space apparently. So right here is where I want you. Then come over here, and you're making this wiggle, which I don't want you to make. So, okay. This is the last time I do this. I realized this was twice doing the same thing, but I wanted to check one extra thing before I spend all the money. So 1, 2, you go up, then you go 1 away, and this is going to be our iron support. Or this is one of the conveyor belts that we're going to use. Why use conveyor belts? Well, currently you're using trucks, and trucks are great, but they use fuel. If you use fuel, you're effectively you're wasting fuel because they're better modes of transport to get your trucks to do what you need them to do. Okay. So conveyor belts can help that. However, conveyor belts use power. Power is, as I said a long time ago, the thing that's really what this game is about. So don't waste it. But this should be fine. You can place conveyor belts on top of each other, like I'm doing here. Actually a pretty effective and efficient way, and I kind of like it, so that's what we're going to do. This one can connect right here, and that should be fine. And here what I'm really doing is just building a sample setup for how this is all going to work. So I'm going to get the last one, because we have 3 entrances, or three connections, and get this laid out here. I am laying a lot of extra stuff because if your last piece is a corner, the game is a little iffy, so I'm just running a little further than I have to, but it should make my life easier down the road. We got that one in there. Ooh, looks lovely. Hope you agree. You don't have a choice. So they're all in there and connected here, and they're all accessible. Wonderful. If you have problems with how the conveyor belts are placed, which I had for a really long time, there are helpers over here. You can make them not snap. You can make them not connect anymore. You can make them not make curves. You can make them shift their directions. Like, there's a lot of stuff that you should play with. It actually makes laying these pipes a lot easier. So keep that in mind. Let's see, where do we want iron? I think iron, by location, I'm okay if it's just going down to the bottom layer of this whole thing. We only currently have 2 iron connectors, but we could add more if we really wanted to, and that should be fine. The next one that I want to get in here, because again, location, is the wood. And we're getting to an area where we have a lot of truck traffic here. You see that because the dirt is very dark. That's a good thing. The problem is that trucks cannot drive underneath the conveyor belts by themselves. What they can do, I'm going to use the control button here. The control, you can see that highlighted on the bottom right. Just changes the angle of how, or changes the flow. Yeah, the flow of the conveyor belt to let you do things. So now trucks are going to go out here. It's not necessarily a good thing. Fuel station's almost done. Fuel station's done. Let's get that built really quick so that can be taken care of. And then I get back to the conveyor belts over here. Is it under buildings? Yes, it is. So get a fuel station. I'm going to turn around like this. I will put it really... I'm trying to put it central, relatively central to everything. So I'm just going to throw it right there. Is that the best place? Not necessarily, but the thing that's important is that we can assign an actual truck to make this work. It takes golden construction pieces, but I think it will be worth it because it will start saving us fuel already, which is what this whole thing really is about. By this whole thing, I mean why we're doing the conveyor belts in the first place. I'm going to put a tank here. This one's for diesel. Ideally, you do this next to a large production chain like over here, but I think it will be fine if we just do it this way. I forgot that we had sand already, so get me a new truck, get me one of these guys, and then get me some digging instructions. I would like you to stay flat. Okay, and then go down one on this level and just dig up the sand. That's all I want from you, and life should be good. And they should also, if they have some material that we don't need, they should drop it right there. Fuel station's out of fuel. Of course it is. Of course it is. I think something else that I should start doing is dump over here so we can put one more farm there once we get a chance. Is it super important? It will be. It will be eventually, so I don't know how wide I actually have to make this, but this should be a good start. Lovely. Cool. What was I? Over here, doing something that I hopefully need. So, materials are moving around. There's some iron going that way. Yeah. Iron plates are parked here now because this guy's already full. The wood is parked there because it's already full. And the last thing that we need is the concrete that comes from over here. We do want to make sure that we use both of the concrete producers, and I'll just do that by connecting them like this. I'm sure there are more elegant ways to do this later. I haven't thought this through very well, but it should be fine. Get that one there. Get a flat conveyor belt. You connect them there, then this one just connects to one of these, and it should be good. If you ever build a conveyor and it's the wrong way, no problem. You can just toggle direction right here, and that should make things a lot easier. Great. Conveyor belt, yes, you come up here. That's the last connection that we don't have yet. I would like you, I definitely want you to connect there, but it's not doing what I want it to do. It has some snapping in there and some other things that are fine and good and important, but it's just not doing what I need to do, so I'm just going to have it start from this side instead. Run all the way up here and then hop in here. And that looks good to me. Sorry, nose is really itchy. Not my fault. Okay, so we have this iron ore guy. There is, can we actually, we can't issue commands yet, but that's fine. We can try to keep these full. So these machines can actually keep working and we will get more materials out of them. Same thing over here, keep the coal full because why not? If you don't set the keep full or keep empty commands, then they're just not super important. They're not really important right now because we don't have the conveyors yet, but once we have the U-shaped conveyors running here, they will be important. This is actually an area where I probably need to add a ramp down the road, but not yet. Okay, you keep relatively full. You don't have to be super full, but relatively full would be good. And there we go. Because otherwise, why build it? There you go, I got some fuel. Now fuel's in the fuel station, everyone's happy, and this guy's is gonna go somewhere and refuel someone. That's exactly what we want, if you didn't know that. So that one gets built, that one gets built, that one gets built, and now concrete is flowing. Cool. Now everything is set up here. At some point, I do hope the devs add a copy the conveyor setups as well. At this point, that's not a thing, so you do have to go through manually and just make sure that all these conveyors are connected. It takes a little bit of practice, but that's why I recommend setting up a template first, which is what I did on the first one, and you just copy that template. Then you just repeat that template over and over again, which is not really a template by definition, but it kind of is, so it's fine. And no, I'm not sure what the dictionary definition of a template is, so don't ask me. Cool. Get all of these in here, and the last one is there, there, and there. Now, here's the thing. Some of these materials take other things. This one takes mechanical parts and electronics. It doesn't really fit in this setup group. This setup group is really good for construction parts because these three things are what we bring in here. They're not very good for the rest. So we definitely have to think about how we optimize this, and the way to optimize it is pretty simple. Split it out into their own production chains. So we still need iron. That iron probably has to come out somewhere else, but then probably have to start building something in this area and so on. These can all be assemblers, but you have to diversify a little bit. I like it. I like that you have to do that. I like that you're forced to do that. What's your problem? You don't have iron. Of course. Okay, no problem. We can throw iron in there. We can throw coal in here. I don't really like what I see. Oh, here's one thing that I haven't really shown you. Every building generally has an import priority. Priority goes from 1 to 15. 1 is high, 15 is low. It's literally exactly what you think it is. If there is a chain of commands of 20 commands that came through, then the highest command gets priority. Since my loose storage has a import or has a priority of 9, and my smelters over here, or blast furnace, only has a priority of 10, they don't get anything. So we're currently not producing anything until this loose storage is actually full. Well, fix that. U-shaped conveyor. And get this one in here. I think this should be... I want to make sure that I can do what I want to do here. I think this is what I want to do. This is going to be the coal connection, if you can't tell. Wow, I actually put it in a way that I can get through here, but very good. I will make sure that there's a little bit of extra space that trucks can actually get under, right here. So I don't have to build bridges right away. That didn't work yet. Right-click will remove just a little bit of space that you just added. The thing is, trucks may get under here, but your excavators may not. So keep that in mind when you build all of these things. Get you in there, and then this guy is just a little offset, but it's okay. No, I don't want you to go through there. I want you to stay on the ground. And if that actually, I don't mind this one bit. If that means you have to run on the ground right underneath the conveyor belt that we just built, then that is totally fine. Get you connected there. You get a little bit of a different connection right here. And there you go. This guy can no longer reach anything because I messed it up or I did it too soon or too early. So what I'm going to do is spend some of the unity that we still have right now, get him out of here so it can do what it was meant to do. Important to an extent. This will become a problem now that we're producing this stuff very, very quickly. I do want to copy this. And you'll see what I'm doing here in just a second. I'm going to copy this one out there. I'm going to give myself a loose storage. Effectively, I would like it right here. Actually, I can do that. Right here. Are we triple speeding? Yes, we are. Nice. We're going to use it for that thing. Now we're going to slow it down. And I'm going to put the loose storage right here somewhere. Where am I going to put it? I'll show you in a second. Still want to do that. But what we need is more conveyor belts. And this is the only conveyor belt that we need to put on this side, so that will be important. But we need it regardless. So this one, I would like to come out all the way here. I think this is what I want. And I'm saying I think because I need to make sure this guy can actually connect to something that I care about. And it's not connecting very pretty. So, get rid of all of this, get rid of all of this. I would like this to be one thing to get it done. And yes, you can totally build this in a way that you cannot connect everything. That is not unheard of at all. I'm going to raise this one. I'm going to go over these things. Before I build anything else, I'll make sure that this one can get in there. And as you can see, he can't. So, we're not going to build this piece. There. Instead, what we're going to do is build the conveyor piece out here. Can we build it on top of here? I actually kind of like that. It's a little further away. It will cost a little extra materials, but I think it looks nicer. And it's easy to extend. So yeah, we're just going to run it from there all the way out here. Make sure that gets built. No, this one comes in here. And if we can't get trucks out to these locations, there are things that we can do. One is use Unity to get those connections done. And that's why you want to make sure that you have Unity coming in most of the time, all the time, otherwise bad things are going to happen to you. And then this is what we're going to do. I'm just going to add a storage, rotate you into the correct direction, like this. So we have a little buffer zone, so this guy can actually produce when these guys aren't producing. And again, this one should not be reliant on trucks. Very important. Can I get you in there? I can. That's actually pretty enough. Cool. So there you go. All of this should make its rounds. What do we need? What we're short on? You have electronics. You don't have construction parts. Construction parts. It's not a problem to produce right now. That is something all of these assembly halls can do very, very quickly. So we're just gonna ramp up that. We only have 8 units, so yeah, that's a problem. But we should be able to get get that replenished. We could refill the construction parts here, but honestly, right now, it's fine if the trucks pick it up from the assembly halls to bring wherever they need to be brought. But yeah, we're probably going to rethink what's going on over here at some point. Groundwater pump. Cool. Next one is crop rotation. That is probably fine. Should I send a ship out somewhere? We should totally send the ship out somewhere. Click on this guy and let's go to the other side. Haven't seen it yet. Because you know what? It's a great thing to say, hey, we can figure out next time what we need to do here. But yeah, so let me know how you feel about that. I may do 1-2 episodes now a week, so I will slow down the explanation just so that everyone has a chance to catch up on what we're doing. I hope I did that well. I will try my very best to not repeat myself, because I hate when people repeat themselves to me, and I don't want to repeat myself to you. So I try to find a good balance, but I understand that there's a lot more new players, new people, because this is now actually early access and publicly available to everyone. So I'll do my best. Let me know how I'm doing. And yeah, conveyors are here. Golden construction pieces are here. Just a lot of stuff where a lot better. I don't know. A lot better is it's just what does that mean? I think we're in a really good place right now. Things are being produced. Things are being done. Yeah. I'll let this run probably for 5-10 minutes or so we can get all these conveyor belts done, and then later on whatever else we need. But for now, thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And I hope you learned something and you enjoy playing this game, because I surely do. So, bye-bye.